thing about it is like you just can't stop. Life just keeps going. It's like a highway that's just gonna keep going. Just because you got deposited on the side of the road, don't mean that you just get a new car. Just find a way to keep moving forward. Do that. And that's your own positivity and your own constitution that's gonna have to do that every day. There's always some shit that's fucking whack. There's more shit that we should have or need or want. We might not have those things, but you gotta look at the blessings that you do have, appreciate those resources. And once you start appreciating the things that you do have, you're ready, like ready to go. You know what I mean? Ain't no way around it. This ain't no substitution. And you learn from that shit. That's the other thing. You gotta learn from all the things that happen to you in life. You gotta keep moving forward, but you also gotta learn. If you're moving forward and you're not learning, you're gonna do the same shit again. You make the same mistakes again. But if you do it once, you skid your knee, say the next time I won't do this again. You'll be smarter. So now you're moving forward and you're smarter. It's large. It's life.
Here at Lafayette, like my shit was already. My head was like spinning out. As like a teenager, my head was spinning. This high school was just like the worst high school in all of New York. They even had a thing held high, and the chancellor came and like shut the shit down because the projects over there and the racism was so strong here between like Italians and like black people. We had the projects there, and all these Italian kids all going to the same high school, and it was right across the street from the project. So like we were getting robbed, like we were getting like beat up, beat downs, all types of crazy energy. It was just like had nothing to do with schooling, like information of like what the purpose of school is. So it was just on some survival shit, combined with like I got my own crazy thoughts going on in my head. This is the atmosphere that I'm in, this crazy, racist, like violent, crazy energy place. Only lasted past to 9th grade. And then once I got to 10th grade, all I did was just cut school. And I'd be just running around here, truant, they would pick me up. Truancy cops. This park right here, in this little corner joint right here, I got robbed. Me and my homies, we got robbed right here. Big black dudes came up to us and just was like, yo, give me your shirt. And I had this tape Walkman at the time, and I had a Queen tape in there, Live at Wembley. Queen Live at Wembley was so dope. All the hits on the radio, Gaga, the Bohemian Rhapsody, everything. And the dude robbed us. He's like, I'm taking your shit. And I'm like, all right, listen. I know you got us right now. And I was like a little short. Heard the bang I said, I know you got us right now, but let me keep this Queen tape. Because I know you don't like Queen. And he looked at me and was like, nah, I'm taking the tape too. Boom, he took the tape. I'll never forget that shit right there. Try to get that Queen tape. Yeah, that's where I went to high school, bro. So I wore the shirt just in tribute. It's like very fitting to be back here. And also at the time, like the most baseball players out of any high school went to the major leagues from here in Lafayette. And I was killing it in baseball. Baseball was my whole dream up to a certain point. So to come here was like, just wanted to just play on the baseball team. And I did play on the baseball team in 9th grade, but then I dropped out in 10th grade. That's cool, man. Lafayette High School. Larry King went here, and Sandy Koufax went here, and John Franco went here, and I went here. Only for 1 year. They graduated. I did not graduate. So that's the projects right there, the Marlboro project. So that was like the big energy was like Italian kids from down there, and then the projects right here. That's sick right there. Me and my pops used to play baseball here up against the wall. Paint like the little square box. And we play with like the sponge ball. Spent a lot of time playing with my pops here. I think that's the other rad thing is like a high school or a place like this in New York City, that high school looks the same. When Larry King went there, when Sandy Koufax went there, when everybody went there, it looks the same. It hasn't changed. So you can come back year after year and still remember. I've been here my whole life, so I was like born here in Bay Ridge, and then when I was 5, I moved to Bensonhurst. And I lived in Bensonhurst till I was 16 or 17. So I did all my years in Bensonhurst, man. I lived this shit, man. during a certain time, like it was like the 80s and the 90s, a crack era, and just the racism and just all the energies of this neighborhood was really crazy to like grow up in. And it's not like that anymore, which is good. But you know, vibes. This grocery store over here that we're about to walk by. So at the time when I was cutting all the school and stuff, just big into the bands at the time, which is like Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, these type of bands. And Scott Weiland just kept getting arrested at the time. And like they had the newspaper like Weiland arrested. It was like I had to just get it. I had that newspaper for years, but I must have kept that newspaper for like 10 years for whatever reason. The other thing about over here too, like at the time was like dudes would always be asking you for 50 cents. A quarter, you got 50 cents. It's like, that was like the obstacle course. Don't get robbed, and then also make sure you hold on to your 50 cents, even though there's so many people trying to get it from you. So this is Bay 50th Street Station. This is the second to last stop before Coney Island. So this is Dewey High School. So in comparison to Lafayette, we just saw, you're gonna see how Dewey has just a whole different energy and vibe. And so I used to cut school and just come here. Sometimes they would catch me. And be like, you're not a student here. Truancy cops and grab you and like call your parents, and then you run out the spot, try to get to the answering machine before your parents got to pick it up. There's so many vibes, man. So many vibes.
What are you photographing? You gonna videotape me and my dog? What are you doing? Something for the Board of Ed or private?
Yeah, I went to school.
Me too. I went to Booty.
Booty, I went to Booty too.
Yeah, and I went to 248. You know the Transit Authority School over here?
Yeah, I went to 247.
Yeah, that was 248. And then they closed it. But I'm old. What do you think I am?
Age-wise?
Yeah.
69.
69. It's a great number. 69. No, I'm 85.
85. God bless you, brother. Yeah, man. People of the neighborhood. So that's also the accent of everybody originally from this area. That's how everybody talks. Like Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, Italian, back in the days. This is where I used to go, man. I used to come chill. We chill over here, all up in the grass, hanging out, cutting school, fucking smoking weed, doing all types of crazy shit. I can have a certain focus and perspective on something, because the thing is, like, I'm a thinker, so I think about shit. That's the thing. All the years of stickering and just walking the streets by myself, that's my time to think about shit. You know, I think about life all the time, and I have these little perspectives and visions, and pools of water that we fish in. Depending on the fish that we want to catch, we got to go to those pools of water. If you want salmon, you need to go where the salmon swim. If you want tuna, you need to go where the tuna swim. But there'll be no sharks in a pond, because sharks are too big for a pond. So we got to be smart about what and think about those things. So I think about life, and then so if I do have a perspective and I can bring that to somebody else so that they can see it and it uplifts them in a certain positive way, I'm totally into that. Just for whatever it is, man. It's just art. It's just life. You know what I mean? Like just living life and just being an artist and just creating shit. You never know where the things are gonna go. You create things. I think there is a reason certain frequencies that come together for whatever reason. You know what I mean? They're attractive. Real recognize real, like attract like. What does it all mean in the grand fucking scope of the whole shit? I don't know. And I remember like growing up in this neighborhood and like seeing crazy shit where like there was like borders. And like the hood doesn't come to these borders. And they'll chase you out. Like the Italian dudes would straight up chase you out. I seen it one time and it was crazy. Like I seen a bunch of shit. Like, this guy was on a bike. He was on a fucking bike, man. Italian dude's on the bike, and there's a black dude, dreads. He's walking out here to come out here, and he's like just a couple blocks in there. And then the Italian's like, get the fuck out of here, chase him out and started kicking him. The dude's on the bike, and then the black dude starts running. He starts running, and the guy's on the bike, and he's fucking cursing at him and kicking him. It's crazy, man. It's crazy vibes. Back in the days. New York is very like, there's still tiny pieces and there's always going to be realness,
But when the same thing with the TV, man. Stranger Things, you can't go back to Stranger Things season 1 and expect them to look the same. They grown. That's it, B. Same thing with this type of shit. It's like the real estate and the energy of the people and the whole shit, man. I mean, shit ain't the way it used to be. It's just not. Things are just not the way they used to be. As far as like drugs, being like crazy with the crack and all that stuff, and the mob and all the types of energies, it's not the way that it used to be. So because it's not the way that it used to be, the energy is different. Same thing with Times Square. When you go to Times Square, it's not how it used to be. And if it was how it used to be, people will be having a different vibes. But you can go to Times Square, you can go to anywhere out there, just tourists, man. That's money right there. There's no hookers. And this shit ain't. That's just a wrap. That's just a wrap. That's some shit that you see in the movie, and that's over. Like that movie is done. This is a whole different movie. They just come back and just talk about, yo, this is how shit was back in the days. It's still got the same vibe, bro. Even the basketball courts, like that's still the same basketball court. Just that straight bag. You could play like baseball, but with tennis balls, and it's still the same thing, man. We used to play there, and then when I used to play at the Big Apple games during the summer, we used to play stickball there with Musamichi. That was the teacher, Musamichi. He taught us about stickball, and that was like the home run. That's where you bat, boom, boom, and you hit it there, bang, crush it. There was no other better feeling as like a little kid, like than to like crush a blue ball on top of that roof. Oh my God, this was a rad school. This is where I played the saxophone. It was like a magnet school for like people that played instruments and stuff, and they had a string department, and they had a horn department, and I played the saxophone here. It was dope. It's good energy, man. And this place hasn't changed. I had a homie named Kumba that went here to school at the time. And Kumba, like, we were in 8th grade, so we were just like about to go to high school, and he started like smoking cigarettes, or just basically just doing like, he was ahead of us in his hardcoreness. And Kumba would like, he'd be like, yo, I could blow smoke out of my lungs. And we'd be like, what? And he would be like, we're nothing, just in the classroom. And all of a sudden, he would blow out smoke. Crazy. There was also this time here at this school, which was like a big vibe, was Jordans back in the days. You'd have like the actual Jordans, and then you'd have like the Payless shoe store knockoff Jordans. And this Russian kid came in with the knockoff Jordans, the black joints that had like the blue like this, blue and purple. They were all black with the blue and purple. He came in with the fake joints. And then this other kid, this kid named Reginald, he was like, yo, those are fake. As soon as he came into this classroom, he was like, yo, those are fake. And the Russian kid was like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? My dad got these for me, like, you know what I mean? And he's like, nah, B, those are bootleg. He's like, I'm gonna come in tomorrow with the real Jordans. And the kid didn't understand what he was saying to him. Like, he was like, what are you talking about? Like, they're right there on my feet. Reginald came in the next day with the real Jordans, and like everybody was like, oh, and he just crushed them. And I remember the Russian kid's like vibes and energy was so sad, man. Like that like he didn't understand why his parents couldn't get him the real shit, and why this kid was telling him that his shit was fake, and like he felt less than. I totally remember that vibe too. And I also remember getting into a fight with Reginald over there in that corner, and I cut my ear on a piece of glass when we were scuffling. And then everybody was like, oh, he fucked you up, like, cause my ear was cut and I was bleeding. They're like, yo, he made you bleed, like, he fucked you up. That was the Brooklyn way, man. People will roll up to you. If you walk down the wrong block and you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, you just were just gonna straight up just have to fight people. Like, I remember going to like schoolyards, like other homies' schoolyards that looked exactly the same as this, like maybe like 10 blocks down that way, and then rolling up there and playing baseball with them, and then crushing them, and then being like, yo, like, now we have to fight you, like, or else get out of here, like, go the fuck home, like, really, like, how does it always end up with like fighting? Like, why are we always fighting? If you're just playing outside and you're just having fun, you're playing with your toys, like, you're not thinking about the concept of life and what people are saying to you and your energy and how their energies make you feel. You're just like living in the moment. I think there's definitely a switch over. All of a sudden, like, you're still a kid, but all of a sudden now you're like, you get a connection with the adultness. And you recognize that the adults have something in common with you, and you have something in common with the little kid, but you're not a little kid anymore. So I was cutting school, like,
I used to not even go anywhere. Like I lived over there. I would just come out the house and then just chill until I see my pops leave. And then when my pops left, then I would go back home, and all my homies would come meet me at home. So I had this one homie, and we were just started smoking weed, so we didn't really have like access to weed. It wasn't like on our flow yet. So we got these cigarillos. And we used to come in back here. We used to just hide back here underneath this shit in the church and just smoke these fucking little tiny cigarettes that look like blunts. Do all types of shit, man. Trip on acid. Fucking, I started watching Quantum Leap a lot. It became my favorite show, Quantum Leap. I was cutting so much school that I could see. My dad just got cable for us, so I could see that Quantum Leap was playing on USA, and then it also was playing on the Sci-Fi Channel. So I saw one episode and I loved it. How it came, he jumped into a different person, and then he would leap out into a new person. It was like cliffhanger trailer every time. And I started watching it on USA and Sci-Fi Channel every day. Cut school and watch Quantum Leap. Have the rotation. Golden Girls, Quantum Leap. Like I knew every single channel that had every single rad show. Mama's Family. I watched a fuck ton of Mama's Family. Cutting school. Three's Company. All these different shows. This was the shit that I was doing, man, when I lived out here. Smoking cigarillos in the back of the church, cutting school, watching Quantum Leap, Golden Girls, and fucking Mama's Family. Figuring out life. Would I recommend cutting school? I wouldn't recommend it. I think the best thing to do is to like be grounded in life and just appreciate the time that you have in school, because once it's gone, you'll never get it back. I got to have a lot of it because Shinobi, we played high schools for years, so I got to go back and rock high schools, and that was fun. But the majority, you're not going to get any time back at that school. If your school years is over, you got to appreciate the time you have, definitely. I wouldn't recommend cutting the schools. I seen Al Diaz on the train. Al Diaz, great artist, who's with homies with Basquiat. They came up together, same old. I watched the Basquiat documentary. They went to City Ag School. Him and Al Diaz, they went to City Ag School. I went to City Ag School for one day. And this was the last moment of life for me in high school ever. I dropped out of Lafayette. After I went to 9th grade, dropped out, 10th grade I fucked it up. My dad tried to put me back, couldn't get me to go back in. Then he put me in City Ag School. I went for one day, went up there with my book bag, sat down. School has started, and immediately I'm like, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here. My head was just all clouded. I was like, yo, I gotta get out of here. So I said, excuse me, miss, can I go to the bathroom? Or whatever the teacher was. And I left my book bag, everything, went to the bathroom, and I never came back. I went straight out to the street, boom. After that, my pop's like, yo, you need to get your GED. And then I got my GED, but even GED I was cutting. I was in the Village on Forsyth Street, and even that shit I was cutting. I didn't get my GED until I saw like there was a kid that had like a handicap, a mental handicap, and he got his GED before me. And I seen him getting his GED. I wasn't even applying. I wasn't even going to school or anything. I'm like, this guy got his GED, and I'm supposed to be smart. Shit, I need to fucking figure shit out, man. And then I got my GED, and then I went to community college. 17 years old. I was supposed to be a junior in high school. I'm a freshman in community college. Trippy shit, man. Bro. Yeah, I found your phone, man.
Oh, you call my old phone.
Hey,
That's my old phone, man.
told you his number was dead.
Me and Earl here in the neighborhood. We went to Loft. We went to Dewey. We went to Booty. We just been walking around telling stories. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go hit my homie Corinne. And I was like, I gotta hit my man Dan. Yo, me and Dan known each other forever. This is the same apartment as the day I met you.
Yes.
20 years ago, whatever.
Yeah. Same, we're like standing in the spot where we met.
Your pops, he gave me a lesson in life. It was like NFL 99 or some shit for like PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1. And it was like, he lent it to me. And this was already years later. Like we were already in 2001 or 2002. Nobody cared about NFL 99. She was old.
Yeah.
He lent it to me. I brought it back. He went to play it. There was a tiny scratch on it. He went to play it, and it wouldn't play. And he came to me. He's like, David, I gave you this game, and you give it back to me, and now it doesn't work. He's like, you have to make this right. And I'm like, but this is NFL 99. Like, why do we even give a fuck about NFL 99? We're in 2002 or some shit. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter. So you need to make this right. So I was like, all right. I go out to the store, homie store over here. I find an NFL 99,
Which is already a small miracle.
I find the shit. It's not that expensive. It was still like $20. I find the shit. I get it. I bring it back to your pops. He's so happy when I walk in. I give him this NFL night. He says, "This is amazing what you just did. This is great." It's like, this is leaps. You made leaps. And then he put the game on the side, and he never played it ever again, ever, because nobody gave a fuck about NFL '99. It was large. Yeah, that's game changer right there. I still tell people about that. Different stories. Interns. I was telling the same. You talking about the ashing on the floor. I was telling the homie about being interns. When I go to studios and I see interns and they just look at you like this. I'm like, B, I was an intern. Let me give you two examples of my internness that I can pass to you. One positive and one negative. See how they affect you in your life. Positive was, I'm in a session. Dude's playing the keyboard. It's Larry Bucksbaum. It was way back in the days. The guy's playing the keyboard. I'm an intern. I can't touch shit. I'm sitting on the couch. And all of a sudden this dude starts rocking on this keyboard. And this keyboard stand is janky. It's not one of those X ones, metal. It had like 2 plastic joints. All of a sudden the 2 plastic ones start running away from the keyboard, and the keyboard goes down. This guy was rocking so hard. And I just said like this. Boop! I just put my foot out. Caught the keyboard. Larry turns around. He goes, he looks right at me. What did you just do? And the keyboard player's like, nah. He just saved the keyboard, yo. That was crazy how he just did that. This the man right here. Mm-hmm. And then Larry looked at me like, alright. So the next day he came in and Larry's like, alright man, that was really good what you did. Now I'm gonna let you bring your songs in and you can mix the shit on Pro Tools. And at the time I had a Tascam Port Studio, the tape joint. I didn't even have no Pro Tools at the time. It was early digital. He's like, I'm gonna let you get on there and you can mix in the Pro Tools. I was like, yo, dope, this is gonna be hot. My first time sit down at the board, put the things up, phone rings. I pick up the phone, it's the studio. The guy goes, hey man, is Larry there? I say, nah, Larry's not here, he just stepped out to the bathroom. The guy's like, alright, I'll call back later, bye. Boop, hangs up. Go back to mixing the shit. Larry comes in. You already shaking your head? Larry comes in, yo, he goes, I heard the phone ring. Who was it on the phone? I said, I don't know. I don't know who it was. And I go back to mixing. He goes, stop mixing. He's like, you're done. Step back away from the board. You're done. I said, Larry, what did I do? He's like, this is a business. Somebody calls on the phone. It's a business transaction. You find out what their name is, what their number is, what they want, so I can call them back. That was it. I was done. I couldn't touch the shit no more for the rest of my internship. Those are those lessons, though. The one your pops did for me, and Larry, the plus and the minus. I mean, the more of those things in life that you're actually like aware of, that it just happened to you, and you can learn from that shit and grow, that's big for you as an individual.
Absolutely.
Oh, big.
Yeah.
I need to re-up on the vibe. Yeah.
Keep that shirt. Yeah, I just made one. I made another one, but the gray is different. But that gray, you need that gray for that image to come across to you as gym.
Yeah. It's definitely hitting the gym vibe for sure. That's
Yo,
funny.
it was at Lafayette, B. I just made this yesterday. We're at Lafayette and I'm wearing this shit. At Lafayette, coming back after all these years.
Yeah.
And talking about this shit. It's trippy, man. I'm making t-shirts and all types of crazy shit. It's like, back in the days, you can never have thought that we would be here in life, doing the things that we do and have done the things that we've done. Just think about, like, we were on West 9th Street, man, telling the story about who snatched the guitar and went and burned the guitar and cut in school. And I was telling the story about being downstairs and fucking being drunk and like screaming at yo dad. Yo dad.
That's not a one-time story, right?
The buildings change and they look different and the people look different, but those memories, the things that you experience, even shooting videos, like the first shit that we shot down here, that we even could figure out that if somebody moved off the camera and you blended it, that the person disappeared. Like that was large when we did that shit. For us, we were like we weren't even in school. There was nobody guiding us. We were just being creative from our creativity.
It's that real life shit. Like the last time we all partied together, who the fuck knew that was gonna be the last time we all partied together? You know? And now we've all splintered in different places and like.
I think the dopest shit, and Yusef wrote it in one of his things about the diversity of all of our homies growing up. You know, Dan, Puerto Rican, Yusef, Muslim, Egyptian, Chris Fox, German, Eddie. You know, and even having the physical handicaps, it's like that's a whole other thing. White dudes, Italian dudes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Quaker motherfucker, cranium motherfuckers. Like, we had everything, dude. All of our homies was everything.
That's New York.
A lot of shit we've been talking about, how we've been rolling around, definitely giving the energy of like the way shit used to be, or just the energy and how the contrast of the change over.
you know, so many Chinese people and just the energies of like just a constant change in life, how it keeps changing. But then even some of our memories and experiences is like always remember these blocks, like these schools, this time in your life. I talked about Scott Weiland being outside Dewey and getting that newspaper, and I had that newspaper forever, bro. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Scott Weiland, like for whatever reason, like it was that day, cutting school, going to Dewey. Scott Weiland got arrested, and that bodega, I dropped the 50 cents for that Scott Weiland. I remember fucking seeing Scott Weiland, like we played at Snitch on 21st Street, which I was actually across the street from, thinking this, telling this other homie, like, didn't Snitch used to be over there? Like, we were at Snitch, and just when Ed Hardy had first come out, and the ceiling, we were playing early. Like, nobody gave a fuck about us. We playing the first, man. The ceiling's dripping, and it's fucking dropping on my fucking Chase shirt that I really like, the red Chase shirt that just fit me real nice.
Yeah.
And it's dripping on it. And I had to ask the dude, I'm like, yo, like, it's dripping on the stage. Like, do we have like a mop that we can mop this up? And it's Ed Hardy night. And he's putting up the Ed Hardy shit that's just about to pop. And he was like, nah, you can take your shirt off and you can wipe the puddle with your shirt, and I'll give you this Ed Hardy shirt. I don't know what the fuck Ed Hardy is. I'm like, sure, give it to me. Give me this pink Ed Hardy shirt. It felt so good. It fit so perfect. I had this shit for years, dude. And I mopped the shit with my other shirt. And I traded this for Ed Hardy. And that night, after we played Boom Boom, then Scott Weiland came. And there was some other band that was on. Scott Weiland went straight to the front of the room, just like this. And I was right behind him. Like, yo, this Scott Weiland, man. It's rad, man. I'm not the one playing up there, but it's still rad that he's even in the room.
Yeah.
That where I'm even in a place that he's in the room.
Rock stars, right? In that old way that you don't see now.
But it's the internet now.
Yeah,
No,
it's
mystery.
different. It's different.
That's what Sebastian Bach was saying about the mystery. That we lost the mystery in rock and roll with the social media. Everybody knows everything about you. It's always 24/7. All this. You think about comic books. You think about the golden age of comic books. We love comic books. So you had the golden age of comic books where like the shit was so fresh, so new, so dope. It was all this fucking killer shit. They're coming up with Spider-Man and the Hulk and fucking it's just goddamn Iron Mans and everything. They're just killing it. And then you look now, it's like all those dudes that were killing it then. They did all that work, and they're all passed on into a different energy or something else. This never to be repeated. And I feel the same thing with the rock and roll, like mystery, like we're talking about. Like there definitely is like an altar of rock and roll energy, and it exists outside of any like how it's being pushed to you by the corporations or how it's reaching you, just in its own world, just in its own realm of like 24 hours in a day. Like there's a rock and roll altar. And I know a lot of homies, like you, my homie Corinna, we're gonna go to her crib, like you know, and me too, man. Like I feel like we're all like the disciples and students of rock and roll. Like really cared about this shit. Like when you would give me a Black Sabbath CD or like give me some new shit, be like, yo, Dave, you need to listen to this shit, and I would listen to it because you told me. And if my pops told us and gave us King Crimson or some shit, like we're like, yo, like you listen to the shit that people gave us, because there was a reason why they're giving it to us. Like,
Yes. You feel not only the width but the depth of the recording.
You always been the depth cat.
Yeah, man,
I love
because
that shit.
it makes it sound alive. I think a lot of modern recordings sound like photographs.
It's like close mic. Everybody close mic in it. It's the same thing as the social media. It's the close mic where it's like you're like, damn son, you right in my face. Yo, but I'm here 4K, motherfucker. You're like, alright, I see you though. You like mad close to me right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, what's going on, man? Like, fuck, yeah. Yo. Transference, confluence, energy. It's like things are running from different places and they arrive at the same place.
Crazy.
You know?
Just got to be centered. We always got to be centered as artists. Be in the right mind, that we can be aware.
Yes.
Because we know we're always tripping out. Us, artists, we're always in our heads, and we got our own fucking. We're in a whole nother world most of the time. So if we can be cognizant and see those opportunities and those times to connect with our friends, we need to do that. We need that freedom to be an artist. We need to do that flex.
Yeah.
It's good. You gotta have new shits in life, man. Art. Awesome, bro. Well, it's good that we got to come through.
Yeah, it was cool.
The perfect time.
Well timed.
Timing is everything.
You know, I noticed that.